And Peter Fonda joined us on Wills and Coleman this morning, WTAM 1100. Great to have you on. The Hired Hand, you go back and look. I mean, this was a classic in '69, now a re-release, critical acclaim for this, and now it's back in a few theaters, too, also showing it, Peter.
Yeah, I think it's great. But when it happened, when it came out in '71, is everybody really wanted to see me on a motorcycle smoking pot. And they weren't ready for this kind of thing. They wanted to be this anti-establishment guy. But I fell in love with the script. I hadn't even intended to direct. I thought I'd find another good story and produce it, or I'd write a story and produce it and act in it, like Easy Rider. But this script came, and I looked at it, and I read it 6 times without stopping. And I knew this would be one that I wanted to do. And because of what I saw when I read it, I thought I wanted to direct it so I wouldn't have to explain it to somebody else.
Well,
what it was that I said.
Motorcycle and pod as a horse and peyote, I guess, works. But I don't, Peter. I don't recall. I don't recall westerns being all that big in 1971.
Well, McCabe and Mrs. Miller came out then. Some other stuff. They just they hadn't become as prevalent as when the Duke was out there casting 8 Shadows. But no, it wasn't. And I didn't think about it as being a Western other than when I realized it was a Western. It's our way of talking about our mythology, our way of speaking of the ways of what we did. By the way, this is a real digression, but I can't help it. I got to get political. We all have to. Do you realize that we were the first country to use weapons of mass destruction? I'm not talking about Hiroshima or Nagasaki. We used the pox blanket. That was a pretty far-out weapon of mass destruction. Just to get us all straight here.
What was that? The pox
what was
blanket.
I just saying? The pox blanket was blankets purposely infected with chicken pox and given out to all the Indians and the tribes and nations.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Just want to keep things, kind of on a level look here.
Good perspective. No, it's good.
It's different. It has nothing to do with the hired hand.
Well,
the hired hand has everything to do with a woman who's been abandoned, and she is able to take care of herself, raises her child by herself, and takes care of a farm. And her husband, who abandons her, comes back. And what is the phrase? Thomas Wolfe said, "You can't go back.
Can't go back.
Can't go back home."
Yeah.
Can't go home again.
Yeah, can't go home again.
Is that why there's not an Easy Rider 2?
Well, that and the fact that I died. And
but we don't know that for sure, you see. And now, if, in the world of today and soap operas and everything, you could have just been slightly injured.
Or a dream, yeah.
Yeah, it could have been a dream.
Dream sequence.
Exactly. Could have waken up with Jack and Dennis and, gone on from there.
No. I mean, I'm seriously, if you think about it, who would want to go up against a film that's one of the top 100 films of last century, the top film of its decade, in the National Archives, and by an act of Congress? You're going to take hits, and you can't do that film again. It doesn't work. That timing was absolutely right on target for us, and I wouldn't want to do that again. A sequel. This is, if you've been in the first one, I don't know. It's kind of dicey. But there won't be a sequel on The Hired Hand, so that's okay. We can talk about The Hired Hand.
It's out on DVD October 28th. Peter, when you're flipping around through 300 channels on satellite anymore, and one of your movies comes around, will you sit there and watch?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always wondered that, with a big actor like
I want to see either why I was such a fool or I really got that one nailed.
And what's your favorite?
Oh, jeepers. I think probably ULEE'S Gold and then The Hired Hand.
ULEE'S Gold was tremendous.
Yeah, look how long it took me to get back out from underneath. Well, let me put it this way. If getting out from the monumental shadow my father cast was interesting by creating Easy Rider, getting out from the monumental shadow of Easy Rider will never happen. Somebody's always talking about it wherever I go. And they don't yell, "Hey, Yulee," across the street. "Hey, Easy Rider," "Hey, Captain America." But when Yulee came out, it was interesting because all these critics were going nuts for it and talking about my incredibly understated performance. Where were they when they were watching Easy Rider? What do I say in Easy Rider? Well, man, far out. I mean, that's beautiful, man.
You still know the dialogue after all these years.
Yeah. And up to the big line, the whole last bit where I say we blew it, I even threw that away. That's really understated performing. But I think they were too much into the motorcycle and too much thinking I'm too anti-everything. And otherwise, we could have had a good look at it. You know, I remember the films that were up for Academy Awards that came out in '71, and I don't think I could find one that could touch Velma Zsigmond's photography. I know I can't find one that'll touch Frank Mazzola's incredible editing and montages, and for sure, no one's score, original score for motion picture, was anywhere near what Bruce Langhorne gave me, and we would have picked up 3 Oscars. I don't think it would have made a difference in the release of the film in the country because I wasn't on a motorcycle. But now, 30 years later, they can handle it.
Tremendous director's job too.
I've been a beekeeper, I guess. It moves uphill for being a beekeeper, I guess, because I'm really riding it.
The Hired Hand. It's a classic re-release. It's October 28th DVD. You also read about it too because it'll be released in a few theaters around the country, including some stuff at Sundance. Peter Fonda, it's great to talk to you. Thanks so much.
Thanks very much for having me on. Give my regards to Chill.
Will do, Peter.